Today we will introduce the use and methods needing attention of HTGK IV breaker analyzer produced by Huatian Power Co. Limited. High voltage switch is one of the important components of power system. Control the input or exit of the line, and in conjunction with the protective device, in the event of a line fault, quickly disconnect the fault part. Therefore, high voltage switch is a very important transmission and distribution equipment. Its safe and reliable operation is very important to the safety and effective operation of power system. HTGK IV breaker analyzer is an instrument specially developed by our company to meet the needs of field testing the action characteristics of high voltage switch. The instrument is equipped with multiple sensors, which can easily test a series of parameters such as three-phase switching time, stoke, bounce speed, coil action voltage. Now let's introduce the wiring of HTGK IV breaker analyzer. First, connect the earth pole in the upper left of the instrument to the ground wire. We take the 10 kV high voltage switch vacuum circuit breaker as an example. First, we connected the yellow, green, and red accessory wires in the instrument to the moving contact of the switch. Then the three-phase static contact is short connected and connected to A1, B1, and C1 on the instrument panel. Then the four wires correspond to the A, B, and C three-phase and the three lanes after the short connection of the static contact. Now we can see the black lines on our instruments. It is to connect the static contact A, B, and C of the high voltage switch to the grounding instrument at the other end after short connecting them with black wire. The yellow, green, and red in the next row correspond to the moving contacts of A, B, and C respectively. Then we connected one end of the three-core single LAN in the instrument accessory LAN to the control power end of the instrument panel. The other end is connected with the open and closed coil of the high voltage switch and the common end. The green line is the opening control coil, the red is the closing control coil, and the black is the common end. We connected one end of the 5-core single line attached to the sensor interface of the instrument panel. The other end is connected to the sensor single interface of the instrument attachment. Next, we will introduce the operation method and procedure of Huatian Power Breaker Analyzer. First, we turn the instrument on. Then we will introduce the operating panel of the instrument. The instrument operation panel includes contract adjustment, return and reset, and the upper, lower, left, right, and other operations. Next, we enter the interface of the instrument. First, we go to the settings menu before testing. Test setup sub-menu under setup menu. After entering the test setup screen, we have 9 parameters to test. The first term, the definition of speed. Speed definitions vary according to the switch manufacturer. Here, when we do the closing test, we choose the average speed and confirm. The trigger mode, because we are using the internal power source trigger of the instrument, we choose the internal trigger here. If the customer needs to use external power supply of triggering on seat, we choose external trigger. Test times can vary depending on the functionality of the test. Here we choose 250 milliseconds. Sensors can be installed in phase A, phase B, and phase C for automatic installation. Here we store the A phase, so we select the A phase. Sensor type, the default standard sensors of the instrument are linear sensor and rotary sensor. The acceleration sensor is an optional device. Here we install the linear sensor. Let's click the linear sensor. Fracture type, according to the switch function, can choose metal break or closing resistance. Here for the 10 kV switch, we select the metal fracture. Stock test can be turned off or on. Open means stock test is needed. Closed means no stock test is needed. Here we select open. Stock settings are set according to the length of the sensor. Here the length of our sensor is 15 mm and here we select the stock to 15 mm. The line number can be customized according to the customer. After setting all the options, we click Save here. Next, we enter the device configuration interface again. Enter the voltage setting interface. The voltage setting interface is set according to the rated voltage of the open and close action coil of the switch. Up and down key for fan regulation of voltage, left and right key for row regulation. The rated operating voltage of our switch here is 220 volt DC, therefore we choose it set to 220 volt. After setting, we click OK to save. After the setup is completed, we enter the test interface of the instrument. The test interface includes automatic test, opening test, closing test, opening and closing, closing and opening, closing and opening and closing, button jump test, manual test, live test, and so on. Here we do the closing test, so we choose the closing test. After entering the closing test interface, we confirm that all parameters are set correctly. The switch is in the state of energy storage, and the energy storage is good. Here we have stored energy on the switch, so we can conduct the test directly here. After we press OK, we begin the test. After switch operation, time wave, speed wave, and current wave. By pressing the down button, we can get the three-phase action, time and synchronism, closing speed, stock, maximum speed, coil current, and other parameters. After the parameters come out, we can conduct the data analysis in the view interface. Detailed test information, comprehensive printing and current printing, etc. After the closing test, let's do the opening test. Enter the test setup of the instrument again before the break test. Change the speed to 6 mm. After setting up, we select Save. Because the speed is defined differently according to the switch on and off. Therefore, before opening and closing, set the corresponding speed. After the setup is completed, we enter the opening test. Confirm that all parameters are set correctly before test. Then we select OK and start the test. Time wave, speed wave, and current wave appear after switching operation. By pressing the down button, we can also get the action time of A, B, C three-phase, as well as the corresponding and opening speed, overpass, maximum speed, opening distance, coil current, rebound, and other parameters. For more information, please visit www.hvtest.cc.